Welcome to the Pink Seat, our cozy space where you can pull up a seat to the table, grab your favorite coffee or tea, and join a real honest conversation of what it looks like to live your life, to love Jesus, all while we're balancing all of these things we have to deal with as women and wives and mothers, and
it can be a lot.
It can.
But we always say you belong here. Kind of our whole premise for all of this is you're not alone and you belong here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Make your favorite coffee, your favorite tea, whatever. You're not alone. You're here with us. You're just like another little one of our girlfriends just having a chat. So
we're hanging out.
We are.
Coffee date.
So.
Okay. It is January and we are at the week, the mark past Christmas, that things are starting to feel a little gray, a little dreary, a little weary.
I know. Have you guys, this was funny. I was telling Susie, have you guys heard of Blue Monday? Susie, have you ever heard of this?
I have never heard of Blue Monday before, so you have to tell me what is it.
I honestly didn't know that Blue Monday was a thing. I had listened to like another podcaster talk about this, and I was like, Blue Monday, what is
this
Blue
like
Monday?
Black Friday? Does it have to do with shopping?
Unfortunately, there is no shopping.
There's no sales?
If there was shopping involved, it probably wouldn't be a Blue Monday.
No, it would be Happy Monday. What is Blue Monday?
Girls, this is kind of funny. Blue Monday is the most depressing day of the year.
Okay, so it's a certain date on the calendar.
It's the third Monday of January.
So this coming Monday, we can all be prepared.
That technically it's the most depressing day of the whole year.
So why?
Honestly, because it's dark.
Yeah.
It's gray.
Especially if you're in Central New York.
Yes.
Yeah, Christmas is over. You want to know what else?
Yeah.
Your college kids have gone back to college.
Oh, I don't want to think about that.
Now I'm blue.
I know.
Already.
And they were saying, I think they had mentioned that's when typically a lot of your credit card bills
come
start to come in.
No.
It's like that mid-January when you were charging things back in mid-December for Christmas. And so your bills are coming in and you're feeling financially stressed. And you're like, oh, it's dark and it's 3:30 in the afternoon.
And the Christmas tree's down. Yes. So the cozy lighting is gone.
Oh.
The presents have all been played with and forgotten.
Yes, they've been discarded in the corner.
No one cares about them.
Random Lego pieces. It's like, oh, yeah, been there, done that. They're over it.
We're all done baking and cooking because we baked and cooked ourselves to the ground through December. New Year's is over.
Yeah, that's just it. What do you have to look forward to in January? It like all of the fun, all the holly jolly joy, it kind of ended. But there was something, Susie, if you don't mind, I wanted to read this really quick. It won't take long. It kind of goes along with Blue Monday.
All right, I can't wait to hear it.
I had written this in my journal on December 29th.
Aww.
It said, Christmas has come and gone. It always amazes me how quickly the actual day goes by. I think this is why we celebrate for an entire season, pretty much all of November and December. We took our giant Christmas tree down yesterday. It has been up for 7 weeks. So we got our use out of this thing, but it's huge. And before you all think I'm a Scrooge taking my tree down only a few days after Christmas, it takes up a quarter of my living room.
And Christmas trees suck light out of the room.
They do. It covers this giant window I have.
Yeah.
So it's very dark in my living room, and it kind of covers my bathroom door, and my laundry room is in my bathroom. So I'm trying to get giant baskets of laundry around this Christmas tree. I'm hitting it. I'm knocking ornaments down.
Yeah, we're the same. Our tree, it kind of blocks the natural light. So as much as you love the cozy feeling, it also feels like this dark mass sometimes.
Especially sometimes I'd forget to turn the lights on it, and you're like, oh my goodness, it's just this giant dark mass.
Well, and especially after Christmas is over. It's like it's served its purpose. It's time to move on. But keep going.
So anyways, we had just taken the Christmas tree down. And I wrote this because it was so interesting to me. I said, I actually cried taking the ornaments off the tree, and it kind of surprises me. It felt so sad. Another Christmas over, another year gone. My kids are 1 year older. These days are fleeting. It's like grasping at sand. I love my kids at every age, but I miss them being little. I miss buying them Barbie sets and trucks. Things change. Seasons change. People change. Nothing stays the same. I know those are pretty profound, deep thoughts for a simple undecorating of a Christmas tree, but that's how I felt. But I was encouraged to know I'm not alone in this feeling. A little sad and a little lost in this season of motherhood. I long for the years back of little hands and feet, my kids on my lap. We're all warm. We're all safe and cozy together. Yet, I am hopeful for the future too. God's blessings and his grace reside there too. We can't go back and we can't skip forward yet. We have today.
Wow.
Today is enough, and I want to meet Jesus every day in the fun days and the mundane days. Even if we're a little sad, we can still have hope. Joy and sadness can coexist. You do not have to choose one over the other. Happy New Year 2026. May the God of all hope fill you with joy and peace as you trust in him.
I love that, Sherry. I love the fun days and the mundane. Because that's real life.
And that's January. Friends, that is January. You are going to have fun days, but you're going to have a lot of just like crummy, mundane days where it's gray, where it's cold, where you just feel a little lost.
Right. So we are giving you permission to grieve what is gone.
Yes.
But to not stay stuck in that grief.
That's right. 100%. Don't stay stuck there. And I'm not going to be celebrating this Blue Monday thing. I mean, it's maybe it's a real thing, but we're not. We don't have to stay there, girls.
We don't have to celebrate it, but I like that we can plan and prepare for it.
Yes.
And so you can know when that day rolls around or this few weeks roll around, because sadness and grief is not linear, right? It's cyclical. And so when it rolls around, it hopefully won't take you by surprise, and you won't feel like I'm the only one.
I know.
Because that's what the enemy loves to do, is to make us feel isolated and that we're the only one. And we try to talk ourselves out of it to say, yes, to say, I shouldn't feel like this because.
Yes, like what's wrong with me?
Right. I shouldn't feel like this. I should be thankful I have a warm house. I should be thankful I have a tree with ornaments. I should be thankful I have. But that line of thinking doesn't actually healthily progress you.
Right.
It actually stunts you from experiencing what you're feeling. It's when we take those emotions and we give them to God and we walk through them, and he walks through them with us. But that's key too. We don't want to stay stuck in them.
No.
We have to walk through them.
And I know I'm not alone in that. I mean, Susie, I know you must have felt days too where it's like you're wishing for those simpler days when your kids were little. You have a college-age daughter now, and you're going to be preparing to see her leave soon.
Yeah.
And it's hard. The holidays, just the simple act of undecorating my tree, and I have tears coming down, and I'm going, Sherry, like, where did these tears come from? And I think it was just a culmination of so many things, like I had read to you, just kind of wishing for those days when they were little, but yet being hopeful and knowing, like, God is in the future too, and his grace meets us there. And there's going to be really fun days watching my kids, even as they're older. They're so much fun.
You know what your writing reminds me of is Psalms. Because David will write in Psalms the real and the raw and the heartbreaking and the authentic, but then it always comes back to giving God glory.
It has to. You could be having the worst day, and I love that David, he would write it all out. I mean, he would lament.
The real. It was real.
Lament, but he always spun it all back, and it's like all glory be to God. And that's how I want to live my life, truly. It doesn't matter if I'm sad or if I'm happy. The glory goes to him.
And it wasn't sugarcoating it.
No, I don't ever want to sugarcoat.
No, and that's
either.
what you said. Like, let's recognize the sadness. Yes. Let's recognize and acknowledge the grief and the loss that I feel. But let's also acknowledge the good things that we have to look forward to.
And I think, too, kind of like what I had written, I almost used to think, like, you can be sad or you can be happy. But you can be both. I mean, joy and grief, or, sadness and happiness, they really do coexist together.
Right.
You can have moments of sadness followed by moments of happiness, and that's normal, and that's okay.
Yeah. Especially if you're in perimenopause.
Oh my goodness.
You're going to experience, but throw in some rage.
Oh,
throw in joy, sadness, throw in some rage, and that's where.
Seriously, can we just go on that for one quick second? Why does no one tell you about, like, the anger?
The anger
that comes with
anger.
This season of life.
Yeah.
I can go from 0 to 10 like that.
It happens quick. Crazy. And it's unexplainable, and illogical.
It really is.
That's what I've decided.
And we're totally going to delve into this another time.
We will.
Anyways.
But you're right. This is my first year having a child away at college.
Oh, it's
and
so hard.
It is no joke.
I know.
People try to warn me and prepare me, but it's like anything in life. You just have to walk through it.
You do.
You know, it kind of reminds me of when you were pregnant with your first baby and everyone's trying to give you advice and they would say things like, enjoy these last few moments as a family of two or get a good night's sleep. And you just can't. You just don't know until you walk through it.
No.
And it's the same thing with having a kid away at college. You just don't know until you walk through it what it's going to be like.
I say that about the teenage years. I have like 3 teenage kids, and it's like people can prepare you, but no one can really prepare you until you're in it and you're doing it yourself. You don't know. I mean, I remember my daughter when she went away to college, she was only 2 hours away. Susie's daughter is much farther than that. So I could go and like travel to see my daughter if I wanted, but just the sorrow I felt when she would leave to make that drive back to college, it was like losing a piece of yourself.
Right.
It was horrible. I hated it. Oh goodness. So
I know.
My mama heart is with you, Susie, because that's not easy.
And Adeline's first birthday that she won't be at home for.
Oh, it's coming up.
It's in 10 days.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
It's
so I'm trying to gear up for that. And so I appreciate your honesty about January and Blue Monday. So we'd love to hear from you. Post in the comments.
I would love to hear from you. Do you think Blue Monday is a real thing? Have you experienced this before? Just that mid-January slump. It's just easy to feel a little depressed in January.
It's true. And you know, we focus so much on the new year and what our New Year's goals are going to be.
Yes.
And we want to talk about that today, about setting our intentions. Right.
Yes.
How do we do that? What does that look like? What are some ways we can set ourselves up to succeed? Right.
Well, I have a little story to share, something that really I'm pulling it from last year into this year. So I don't even think intentions always have to be new. It can be something that you started that you're just being intentional with continuing on.
Right.
I was never a morning person. Oh my goodness. I struggled so much with mornings, but I kept hearing about morning routines and you know how to be successful really if you're getting up in the morning. That's setting the tone for your day.
The 5 a.m. club. There's so many great books and resources. Yeah.
But anyways, long story short, I've been consistently getting up around 6 a.m. for about a year now. And it really has changed my life. I mean, that might sound dramatic to say that, but when I give myself that hour in the morning that's uninterrupted, my children are not awake. It's just me and it's my cup of coffee and it's my Bible and I'm journaling and I'm reading and I have time to pray. It is a game changer. It's the best thing that I could have ever really done for myself. So I'm planning on continuing with that.
Because you're setting yourself up for the day. You're giving God that first hour before your day goes on. Now, I am not as intentional as you are or as good at this. I am very up and down. Like I'll go through seasons that it's really doing really well with it and then other seasons that I'm not. But when you set your intention, and it's similar in how we go to church on Sunday, we're giving God that first part of our week.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to tithing, we're giving God the first because he wants our first and our best. And so it does something inside of you, right?
It does. It changes you. You know, when you challenge yourself and you continue with that, you know, you don't give up.
Yeah.
I could have easily given up on my 6 a.m. plan. Trust me, girls. And there are mornings where, it's not happening. But I've noticed, right, if I sleep in or I don't get up or I'm pushing that snooze button, then I feel behind. Do you guys feel like that? Do you ever feel like you're trying to catch the day?
You're playing catch up.
Oh,
it's kind of like budgeting. Like if you aren't on a budget, it's like you don't know where your money goes.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
It's the same thing with your time. If you don't plan ahead, you just go through the day and you don't know where it went. And not that we don't all need days like that.
I know.
It's okay to take days that are like that too.
Yes, it is.
But there are also days that we have to tell our time where to go.
Or else you will sit there at the end of the day and you'll say, this day flew by, but what did I actually do? Did I accomplish anything? Did I get anything done that I wanted to get done?
Right.
And the answer will probably be no. And that's okay because we also have to give ourselves grace.
That's so true. And again, we're practicing. We're not perfect. We're practicing until the day
I
we
love
die.
that. We're going to
practicing.
keep saying that. But that's going to be our new mantra because it's so true.
Because we're telling ourselves, we tell our kids all the time, practice makes perfect, but again, that's not the right wording.
Right.
That's not the right language.
Practice makes progress.
Right. Because if we're striving for perfection, we are always going to be disappointed and frustrated.
Yes.
Because we'll never achieve it. We will
Right.
never achieve it in our marriages,
know.
in our friendships,
Yeah.
in our finances.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean we give up either.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Another thing I implemented last year is date nights with my husband.
Oh, I love that.
And we're not, like I said, we're not striving for perfection here. There are weeks that we miss, but we've been much, much more intentional with doing date nights. And just, it can be as simple as getting coffee, or
Yeah.
when it was still light out, we would go for walks at night. And it was just carving out that little bit of time. But what about you? Like, what are some things you want to be intentional with?
I want to be intentional in the way I parent my kids. And that's another thing I feel like can get away from you.
Oh, absolutely.
If you aren't setting intentions
Yes.
of how you want to parent, how do you want to handle conflict,
Yeah.
how are you going to love your kids, and especially when you have teenage daughters, you sometimes have to intentionally love your children
That's true.
through some things
Yes.
because they are not always as lovable as they were before they hit puberty.
Right. It's easier to love them when they're like, in their feety pajamas and they're
they're
like, I
squeezable.
love you, Mom. Yeah. I
Right.
know.
So I have to intentionally.
Yeah.
And, my kids are also different. And, it's interesting. I actually had a dream just this morning about my youngest daughter. And so for those of you that don't know, my youngest daughter, Brooklyn, has a genetic syndrome called Phelan-McDermid syndrome. So she's developmentally delayed. She's nonverbal. She actually is in a residential program. So she doesn't live full time with us. But I had a dream that I lost her on a cruise ship. That we were on a cruise together and she had been not with me for like at least 6 hours and I had just like forgotten about her.
Oh, that's a stress dream.
Yes.
Oh,
And then
my
I
goodness.
remembered her and I was trying to find her all over the cruise ship. I was asking people if they had seen her. That was the dream I woke up from this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I was telling Mike about it, and it's amazing to me. So my oldest daughter is almost 19. So I've been parenting for 19 years, and then I am still having dreams about failing as a parent. Of the most basic human necessity to take care of your child, there is some part of me that's fearful that I'm going to fail my kids. And that's where that comes from, right?
Absolutely.
And you talked about that, about things coming from a place of fear, which, by the way, if you didn't listen to last week's podcast about the Yes Adventure, you need to check it out because we talk about some of these things too. So I want to be intentional in the way that I'm loving my daughters. And I think that's, again, parenting in a gist. And what is it that we are scared to talk about our kids' failures?
I know.
Because we feel like it reflects on us.
100%.
And that if our kids fail, that we're failing.
Yeah. Well, and you can see it. Nothing proves my point more. If you have kids in sports and you see some of these sports parents out there,
that brings out the worst.
They demand perfection and they are yelling at these poor sweet kids over the simplest of mistakes, and you're thinking this says so much more about you as a parent than it does about your kid.
Right.
But it's true, like what Susie said. Our kids are a reflection of us, but we can forget they are their own person with their own personalities.
Yeah.
And we can't control that.
And we have to give our kids grace to fail as well.
Yes.
And to know that our job as parents is to help walk them through those failures, not for them to be perfect either. So that's another intention. And I think, part of this whole concept of January where we really disappoint ourselves is when we set these goals that we feel like are going to be reached and that we're going to change overnight.
So true.
That's not how real change happens.
It's not. and we're gonna touch on this in next week's episode, kind of like when that motivation starts to wane.
Right.
When you're not checking off all of those little boxes, when you're not seeing those intentions and those goals maybe come to fruition as quickly as we want.
Right. What happens when you get behind on the Bible reading plan? When you ruin your diet on day 3, because it's motivation gets us started, but it's grace that keeps us going.
100%.
And it's important for us to have grace with each other, but even more so with ourselves.
Yeah, because willpower only takes you so far.
That's so true.
It'll keep you going for a little bit, and then it really does fade, and it's like, what's left after that? You know, you have to depend on God. Really, you do. Because
He's the only one that can change you.
Yes.
He's the only one that can change me. I will tell you right now, I do not have enough willpower in and of myself to change myself.
No, we're all selfish. We're all just stubborn little, women that want our own way really in the end, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of like those little toddlers who are just demanding their own way.
Right.
God is the one who changes our hearts.
Well, you think about the fruit of the Spirit that the Bible lists out for you: love, joy, peace, patience. Those are not things you can force in your life.
Oh, that's so true.
I can't force joy.
No.
I can't force peace. I can't wake up one morning and decide I'm going to be filled with love today.
Isn't it funny though, Susie? Do you feel like the opposite is true? It's really easy to have the opposite of the Holy Spirit, like those gifts.
Yeah.
It's easy to be mad.
Right.
It's easy to lose your joy. It's easy to lose your peace. It's easy to walk in the flesh. It's not easy to walk in the Spirit.
Which I think brings us to this concept of, as we're going through our new years and maybe not fulfilling all of these goals, what are the most important things that we need to cling onto? And
good.
that is our time with Jesus.
Yeah.
That has to be the most important.
It is. And I know for me, truly, that's why, like I said, I'm kind of taking my intention
routine
from last year, and I'm going with it because it really was profound for me. Just a busy mom with 4 kids and a business. If you don't carve out that time, no matter what your life looks like, if you don't carve out that time in the morning, it's probably not going to happen. It might if you save it for the end of the day.
Yes.
I'm not saying,
Yes. There are many nights that I have laid in bed while Mike is asleep and I'm on my phone trying to get the word of God in, spending some time. So, and some people are night owls. So maybe for some people that might work.
Right. It never worked for me.
Or you might have a lunch break.
Yes.
If you are in the kind of job that you have a lunch break that you can set aside that time. Or
I guess for me, that morning is the only time I have.
Right.
In my personal life, morning is the only time I have. So that's why I'm intentional with mornings. But if you have a lunch break, you can do it on lunch break. If you have evenings to yourself, just carve out that little bit of time in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you'll notice the change in your own life. You will notice it.
Right. But there are some things we can do as we're setting goals to help set ourselves up for success, right? Like one of the things is to write down your goals.
Oh, I love this.
Well, you're a writer.
I kind of geek out over this stuff. Like buying a new journal and a new planner for the new year is a huge thing for me.
But you actually use it?
Yes. Oh my goodness. And Mikal, if you're listening to this, one of my best friends, Mikal, she shares this with me. Okay. We love the physical act of writing down goals and our, people will say like, are you free? Blah, blah, blah day. And I can't even look on my phone because I don't have anything on my phone. I actually have things
You're kidding
now.
me.
I carry a planner, a physical paper planner around.
You know. Oh my goodness.
I love it. I'm ancient. I know.
I love that.
Do you guys do that? Are there any of you out there that do this? I want to know. Leave me a comment and let me know if you still do the traditional paper calendars.
Are you Team Sherry or Team Susie? Because everything
Team Susie's probably more convenient that way, but I'm very much
there's something so beautiful. And I have read before that when you physically write something, because it's a physical act, so you're seeing it with your eyes, you're feeling it with your hands. It does something to write it out. Actually, I looked this up, and studies show that you can be 42 to 43% more successful when you write it on paper.
What?
42 to 43%.
That's
so I put
amazing.
everything in my phone. I have a notes app. I
Yeah.
have no after no after no. I'm a chronic. I create a new
Yes.
to-do list. But studies show when you
That is
physically,
super interesting.
when you write it on paper, it does something and it changes you. And so I have
That's
horrible
fun.
handwriting, and that sounds crazy, but I actually get anxiety when I write. So even writing a thank you note, I find difficult because
Okay.
my writing is almost illegible.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
I didn't used to be like that, but I think I'm just it takes too long. I feel
Okay,
like it's
yes.
slowing me down.
Well, yeah, when you're used to typing or being on your notes app, it is hard, I will say, to go back to writing, physically writing everything out. But I'm
Right.
just in that habit, and I have been since I was a kid. I mean, I'm telling you, girls, I have stacks of journals. That's just my thing. But,
that is a gift from the Lord, and I
Yeah.
wish I had that. I do not.
but it can be inconvenient, truly, when you're out and about and you're trying
because
to.
you can't find it.
No, or you forgot to bring your planner with you, and I'll have to be like, I'll have to get back to you because I have to go home and literally check the calendar hanging on
You've
my wall.
done that to me
I
multiple
do that all,
times.
I do that all the time to her. I'll let you know when I get home.
I'm like, can we do it right now and put it in the calendar? Because in the next hour, Mike might put something in there, and
He
then that
probably
slot's
will.
going to be filled.
I know.
You know, yesterday, we had plans to have lunch with friends, and she had plans to sleep all day. And she said, Mom, so we woke her up, and I'm like, hey, we're leaving. We're going to a friend's house. And she was like, it wasn't on the calendar.
Oh my goodness.
She looked ahead of time because everyone in my family knows if you want it to happen, it has to go on.
put it on
And
the
we all
calendar.
share the same calendar on our app, on our
I
phones.
love that.
But there is something
I
about
tried that. I failed at that. But have you guys seen those wall calendars that
Yes.
I want one so bad.
the digital ones, like
Uh-huh.
Skylight.
Yeah, Skylight. That's what they're called.
I know. I get the ads
really
for it.
do want one. They look pretty.
Does
I think
anybody
I
have
would use
one?
that. I know. Let me know because I keep seeing them and I really want to get one.
Don't, because the paper thing is
I know.
working. You
and
need
I
to stick
did just
with it.
buy a new actual paper calendar for the wall, and I really love it. And so I've
This
been
is the
having fun
difference.
filling it out.
Well, even when we're prepping for our podcast,
Yes.
Sherry pulls open her
I
notebook
do.
and I open
know.
my laptop.
I have a whole notebook with all my notes on it, and Susie had
and mine
her
is all
laptop.
Mine is all typed out.
Isn't that
and
crazy?
'cause
And I have a really nice laptop, and I bring it nowhere. It sits by my bed.
well, because you have a system,
This is-
and
I
that's
know, it's my
important too.
system.
If you have a system that's working,
Stick with it.
stick with
If
it.
it's
Don't.
yes, if it works for you, why
I mean,
change it? Why
I am
fix what's
gonna
not
write
broken?
down my goals though.
Do it.
I don't have
Yeah.
to write down everything, but
No.
writing down your goals. So
True.
some other things you can do is to make sure your goals are SMART goals, which if you've heard of this, it's an acronym for SMART. So SMART. So S, they need to be specific.
Oh, I love that.
So clearly define your
Yes.
goal. Make it not just I'm going to lose weight
Right.
or I'm going to eat healthier,
Yes.
or you can say I want to
Be out of debt by blah 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 date. Write that date down.
or pay down this much debt,
Yes.
which brings me to the next thing. It needs to be measurable.
Oh, okay.
So you need to say, maybe you have a scale at home that measures your body fat. You can
Yeah.
say, I want my body fat to decrease by 2% in
Oh.
the next however long.
Yes, that is
or-
clever. I like that.
So measurable goals, so you know when you're tracking them.
Yeah.
They have to be achievable. They have to be
Absolutely.
realistic.
Yes, otherwise you're going to fail from the start, and no one wants that.
No,
Make them achievable.
That's demoralizing.
Yes.
Like you're not gonna, wake up and be a bodybuilder
Right,
and have
right.
7% body fat.
Yes, you're probably not going to pay $10,000 off in the first 2 weeks.
Probably not. No, when you make 2,000, you're probably not going to pay off 10,000
yes,
in
make them
debt.
achievable for sure.
Yes, that's SMA.
Okay.
R is be relevant.
Ooh.
So does the goal align with your whole vision for your life?
Okay.
And then finally, there needs to be a timeline. For T is timeline.
Oh, I love
So
this.
what is that specific? So I'm going to read the Bible in a year.
Mm.
I'm going to, open my Bible app 5 days of the week.
Right.
And I would add this in, and I try to do this with every Bible study we do, is give yourself a grace day.
Absolutely.
Because we're all going to fail and mess it up.
Give yourself a grace day with anything you're doing. Truly anything you're doing. If that's eating well, going to the gym. I mean, just some of the things that I've written down over the years, eating healthier, less sugar, less caffeine. I mean, there's so many, but yeah, please give yourself grace because we're going to mess this up.
Have you heard the thing that it's like, I have this new workout program. I'm going to run an hour a day. It's working out great. Tomorrow I have to run 30 hours. Like every hour, every day I miss, I add it on to the next day. And that's the other thing too. Don't snowball your goals so that if you miss them, it's so overwhelming that you're playing catch up.
No,
because
exactly.
you will bury yourself under an avalanche that you can't dig yourself out of. No. And then you feel like a loser.
Absolutely.
You feel like a failure.
Yes. Yep. And I used to do that even with the getting up early thing. If I missed a few days, I literally was like, I can never do this. It's not in my DNA. It's not who I am. I will never be a morning person. What is the point?
Yeah.
But just keep trying. Just keep going.
And finally, we need to trust God when it comes to our goals and know that there are some things even that happen that we might have the best intentions or the best goals, but it just might not happen that way, right?
Yeah, no. And it kind of brings me to this verse that I wrote down.
In Galatians?
Yes. Galatians 6:9.
Yes. Oh, no, wait. Was that the one?
I know.
Or Proverbs.
Was it Proverbs?
Yeah.
I wrote 2 down. Proverbs 16:9 says, a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord determines his steps.
Right.
And there's a few different versions of this, but I love that, just knowing like we can have a plan and we can even write it out and we can see that plan, but really God is directing our steps. If we are trusting in him, he's the one that determines what ultimately is going to happen. When we put our trust in him, it's like partnering with him. We have our part to play, but he has his part to play.
I love that. That's so good.
Yeah.
So what are your goals for 2026? We'd love to hear about them.
Yes, write them down. I love this stuff. I really do want to see what you guys are planning and what your goals are.
Yeah. And hopefully one of them is to say yes to the Lord more often than not and to those opportunities. And just want to take a quick moment to remind you, if you haven't already joined the Pink Seat Table, we want to invite you to do that by clicking the link in the show notes. And when you do that, we will send you a free 7-day devotional on the yes adventure, on saying yes to the Lord, yes to the amazing adventures. This is our new adventure that we started.
I know. This was our yes that we said, we wanted to do in the new year, and it's been great so far.
I know. It's been so fun like to have these conversations together as women, that we can have a place that we can stop, we can sit, we can take a breath. Right? It's your morning hour with the Lord. This is kind of to add on to that.
It's lovely. It really is an extension of kind of, that time that I already have with the Lord, and then just being able to share it with all of you and share it with my best friend here. So it's been fun.
I love it. Join the conversation. And if you would do a huge favor, if you know someone that you feel like would be encouraged by this and maybe just needs a little bit of a boost, maybe they're experiencing those the Blue Monday, because it's real, man. We just want to encourage you through that, for you to know that you are not alone. You are not alone, and that God is going to walk through it with you, and we are going to cheer you on as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So just share this with someone that needs to hear it. Like, subscribe, follow, and we'd love to continue these conversations next week. What are we talking about?
I think we're talking about when our goals and our intentions kind of fade.
Yeah.
When things kind of, like, we can all be gung-ho, and then, you know what? It kind of just...
Right. How do you stop yourself from hitting that snooze button when you've done it for a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Right.
I know. It'll be fun. I really do want to get more into that, because that's so true with a lot of things. You join the gym, you go for the first few days, you stop going.
Yeah.
You eat healthy for the first 3-4 days, and then you know what? That cake looks really good.
Right. So we have some funny stories and some really practical takeaways for you of what to do when your motivation wears off, because when your motivation fades, it's grace that keeps you going. So join us back next week. We're so glad to have you at the Pink Seat. You belong here.
See you next week.
See you next week.